Hi people, so good to see you. How are you? I'm doing great. So glad you could come and have this chat with me. I'm doing my Q&A today. I posted it a couple of weeks ago on Instagram. If you guys had any questions for me, if you wanted to get to know me a little bit better and vice versa, and you guys pulled through. Thanks so much for not leaving me in the lurch. A lot of cool questions. I'm gonna jump right in. Do you like my new phone case? I love it so much. It's called Dottie because, of course, I had to get a phone case that had a name. Hello. Dottie was actually the name of my grandma, so I love everything with polka dots because it reminds me of her. But I actually found them on Instagram, actually. That's where I find all the cool friends. So, to get started, Pigeon Dr Cucumber asked, have you ever been mountain climbing? You look like a hiker. Thanks. Do I look super amazed? No. Thanks. No, I mean, like, I have hiked, but I'm not like a hiker. I'm kind of a mommer, presently. My favorite thing is horseback riding. How did your parents pick your name? I teased them that they could only afford the letter A in the book of baby names because me and my brothers all have A names, but I guess they just, like, I've asked them and they just liked it. If I was a boy, I would have been Alexander, so I guess they really liked Alex. Lover of names. Do people ever react negatively when they hear your son's name? If so, how do you respond? I get this a lot, actually. My son's name is Judah David, and his name was implanted in my heart when I was 16, and I just knew that one day I would have a little boy named Judah. I just felt it in my bones. So honestly, when people react negatively to it, it's like, it doesn't bother me, because I don't know, I have this connection with it that, like, his name is meant to be Judah. Like, how can you be negative about that? I don't know how it would feel if, like, it wasn't that way for me. I guess just name it and claim it. Sydney Beebs. Sydney Beebe. How do you say your name? I want to say Sydney Beebs. Do you have a day job? Yes. Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom full-time, which is 2 jobs in itself. I have a day shift and a night shift. But, like, aside from that, I'm a freelance graphic designer, so I do that basically at nap times and bedtime. So not every day, but quite a few days, yeah. Thoughts on the name Artemy and Sander for boys? I like Artemis. Artemy is a little, like, I think it would be a really cool middle name. It's, like, so strong and it would be unexpected. I prefer Arthur, definitely all the way. And Sander, I like it, but I can never help but think of Colonel Sander. And isn't that the KFC guy? I don't know about that. If I met a little kid named Sander, I would think it was cool, I guess. Princess Jess said, Judah's a strong male name. Why would anyone be negative? Thank you. Your daughter's name is Ember. It's so pretty. Inspector Gadget. I loved Inspector Gadget as a kid. Do you plan on having more children in the future? I'd really like to. Before I had Judah, I wanted to have, like, 6 children. Sorry, I'm, like, really close to this. Sorry. I wanted to have, like, 6 kids. And honestly, a part of me would really love that. Like, I would love to have a lot of kids. But after having one, I realized how much work it is. And, I mean, Judah's 3.5, so I probably should get thinking about it, huh? Jay Bergie, is it Jay Bergie or Jay Bergie? Jay Bergie Mom asked, what's my favorite ice cream flavor? Cookie dough. I really like cookie dough. I like peanut butter cup. And, like, if I get a cone, I'll get a twist with chocolate sprinkles. But just straight up, I really like cookie dough. I also really like Jimmy Fallon's The Tonight Dough. I guess because it has cookie dough in it, right? And who doesn't like Jimmy Fallon? Psh, seriously. Tulip by Any Name says, who's your favorite person named Megan? You, obviously. And what would you name a white horse? Oh my word. So, I grew up on a horse farm. My dad is a horse trainer. And so I've seen a lot of horses come through. And quite a few white horses. And literally, I think 95% of the time, their name was Blackie. And a part of the reason why probably is because actually, a horse's skin, a white horse, actually black. I don't know why that is, but every time I've seen a white horse, their skin is black. And when a white horse is born, they're always born black. So probably when their foals are called Blackie. But it's so cliche to have a white horse called Blackie. But I knew a white horse one time, and her name was Rafa. She was a white Arabian, and I always thought that was such a cool name. But what would I name a white horse? I don't know. What would you name a white horse? Comment below, and I'll pick my faves. JLeah929 asks, have you ever gagged at a name, maybe thrown up in your mouth a little bit because you found a name so repulsive? I don't know that I've ever done that, but there are some names that I've had to internalize my surprise, like my a little bit. A name that actually makes me, like two names that actually make me angry when I hear that people want to name their children is Lucifer and Jezebel. Whether you're religious or not, those names have serious connotations, and there's so much yuckiness attached to them that when I hear somebody wanting to use them, like, it actually really upsets me. Beloved Baby Names says, what's your favorite thing about where you live? And if you could move anywhere in the world, where would it be? Also, is there a cool place name from your state? So I hate where I live. I'm sorry, that's so ungrateful, but I live in the upper part of the Hudson Valley, and just the local area where the Hudson Valley is beautiful, but the local area where I live is kind of like depressed and very wooded, so you don't really get to see the mountains or the ridges or anything. Where I grew up in the Catskill Mountains of New York, and it's just beautiful. Like, I grew up riding my horse in the mountains, so I was totally spoiled. So when I moved an hour and a half south of there into the top of the Hudson Valley, it was a huge change for me, like a huge shock, and honestly, I'm still not used to it. I've learned to appreciate where I live because it's so close to New York City, but no, I don't like where I live. If I could live anywhere in the state, there's a place up in the Finger Lakes of New York called Cortland, and I love it. It's so beautiful. It reminds me so much of Ireland, which is my favorite place in the entire world. Because you have the rolling green farmlands that go into the blue lakes, and it's beautiful. A really fun place name in New York is Skaneateles, and this is how it's spelled. You almost want to call it Skenateles or something, but it's called Skaneateles, and it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite places ever. It's so peaceful, and it's just a fun name to say. Have you read The Name Therapist by Duana Taha? No, I haven't yet, but I want to so bad. I actually really want to meet her. Kristen asks, do you want to visit an uninteresting part of Virginia? No, but I do want to come visit you. K. Carve Parish, congrats by the way, asked, what is my all-time favorite coffee drink? And what is your latest guilty pleasure coffee drink? So just straight up coffee, I love Starbucks blonde roasts. Like, that's just my all-time favoriteest ever. Like, that's my coffee. Like a latte, I really, like, my favorite lattes ever are caramel maple. And I really like my go-to drink at Starbucks used to be a white chocolate raspberry mocha, which I love, but I kind of, like, it took me like almost 10 years to get sick of it. And now I was loving the caramelized honey latte, and they just got rid of it, and I'm really bummed about it. Like, that's so lame. Okay, I totally forgot. How could I forget this? My all-time favorite latte ever is pumpkin spice latte. But for the rest of the year that it's not around and I'm crying about it because I can't enjoy it, I have to have other lattes. Did I totally just fangirl out there? Okay. Blue Firekin, aka Maria, asked, my question is, how old were you when you learned to play the guitar? I think I was 14. My mom, I was given a guitar and she wasn't really playing it very much, and I was like, I've always been extremely musical. I've always loved music. I remember like being 5 or 6 and like making up my own words to songs. So I've always just loved music. It's always been a part of me. And I played around with the violin when I was young. And then when I saw my mom's guitar, it was like something clicked. And I used to play for a couple hours every day. And I would play so much that my fingers would actually bleed. But I loved it so much. It's still so much a part of my life. Laura Shackelford asks, when do you want to come visit me in Texas? All the time, girl. All the time. Andre Perez says, I love the name Noah for a girl, but everyone says it's a boy's name, and it's not. Noah is a boy's name. Noa is a girl's name. And in the Bible, there was a dude Noah and a girl Noah. And, like Noah Cyrus. I think Noah Cyrus is spelled the masculine way, but anyway, Noah is technically a unisex name, but it's been used so much for boys that I can see why people would say it's a masculine name. But listen, if James can start being used for girls, go ahead with Noah. And I like the name Noah. I think of Noah Wiley from ER. Be still my heart. Abundance of Names says, what is your favorite thing to do outside, and do I enjoy cooking or baking better? I definitely enjoy baking better. But in the food process, I definitely enjoy the eating part. I don't really like cooking or baking. Like, I don't dislike it, but I don't super love it. I like being gathered around the table with my family, but I don't know that I enjoy the kitchen process. That's not really my creative outlet. And what is my favorite thing to do outside? I love playing with my flowers outside. I just got purple and yellow flowers that I'm super excited about. And Judy and I put them in pots, and it was so fun. I loved it so much. Amelia Ann 91 asks, who's your favorite namer? Seriously, if you could rename one fictional character, who would it be, and what would you rename them? Man, I just don't know. I thought about this question when I first read it, and it was like, I don't know. It's like when you read about a character, they just become a part. Like, the name becomes a part of them so much. It's like when you meet a person. Like, how can you picture them with a different name? I don't know. The one person I thought of was Anne Shirley Blythe. And I think a part of me has always wished that her name was really Cordelia. So that's all. Thanks for the questions, guys. I hope you got to know me a little bit better. And leave a fact below, or like take these questions and leave them in the answers, so I can get to know you guys better. And also, on another note, I'm loving my coffee cup. I did a competition around St. Patrick's Day on Instagram. There's a woman who follows me, and she does name signs, like she does pillows and t-shirts and stuff. And she gave me this cup, and I love it so much. Like, I drink out of it all the time. For me, when I started Names Daily, Like, nobody else was doing it. There was like one other account on Instagram, but it wasn't like a name account. They just occasionally did names. Like, I was the first name account on Instagram, and it was such, you know, when I say that I was the first official Instagram baby name account on Instagram, that can come across as like haughty, but I really don't mean, I'm not wanting to be haughty. When I say that, what I'm actually saying is that was a really scary moment. Like, it was one thing to be on YouTube and to blog, but to put myself out there on Instagram every day was extremely vulnerable and scary because I didn't know how people would react. It was a very humbling moment for me, to be quite honest, to so boldly and plainly put myself out there. And I remember when I had 10 followers, I was like, oh my word, 10 people are following my names every day. And then it grew and grew and grew, and I started meeting people and getting to be friends with people that are now a part of my life every single day. And it's such a privilege and an honor to be on Instagram every day with all of you, and I don't take it for granted. It's changed my life. You know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and when I go on Instagram, it's like I'm connected to so many other people who are either doing the same thing that I am or are out doing different things, and I love getting to see the world through other people's lens. Like, I'm in New York. How often am I going to get to go to California? And yeah, I can see a piece of California every day. Like, I can see what Megan's up to with her journaling, or Amelia's doing up in Saskatchewan, and I don't know. I love it so much. So being the first name account on Instagram has been incredible. And now there are over 100 baby name accounts on Instagram that I follow. And it's just so great. So for me to get this cup was like, it was so heartwarming. I remember when I was thinking of what I was going to name my name account. And I don't know, just names daily rolled right off my tongue. And it was a commitment, you know, daily. And, you know, it was just, I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling, but it's so hard for me to communicate the emotions of what it means to me to have a Q&A video with you guys about, sorry, I get a little bit choked up thinking about this. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my life every single day, and taking the time to get to know me, that I'm not just a name account, but I'm a person who loves names, and most importantly, a person who loves and enjoys all of you. So thank you so much for being a part of my life, and I'll talk to you later.